jump on a plane and move to Texas or Seattle or Canada, like that's not the country, Montana.
Leave our troubles on the shelf. Don't you worry.
Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel where we deal with the nonsense that is adulting and we try to romanticize it a little bit for a bit more fun because it's pretty stressful. Today I have a really fun video that's brand new to my channel, but I'm very excited about it. I got the idea originally off of Michelle Reed. I know that a bunch of other people are doing it, but Michelle Reed is where I've been watching most of these to get the inspiration for this video. Specifically this video right here where I totally stole her framework for this video. I will also have it linked down below. But the framework for this has 7 parts and it covers all of the things I could possibly need for prepping my autumnal season. Because if you have read my autumn decor blog post, also linked below, then you know this already, but autumn has totally snuck up on me this year. And like, I guess I know why, but also it's exceedingly strange. So I thought that between my other more aesthetic videos coming on this channel, this would actually be a really good way to start off the new season so that I could try to be a responsible adult about it. Let's go over the main things. For those of you who are new to my channel, the beginning of 2022, I actually started as a teacher in South Korea with the intention of being there until October. And if you read my Christmas letter on my blog last year, linked below for those who are interested, at the time of the new year, I was still infatuated with my job. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was excellent. It was killing me. The hours were insane, but I had a handle on it. The classes were small enough and we still had enough extra help that it wasn't killing us yet. Fast forward a couple weeks, that's when it really started to break down. By the end of February, I had reworked my contract so that I would leave at the two-term mark at the end of April. I got back the 3rd of May, halfway through my teaching school year, and I have a video about that and those initial feelings. The summer has been about healing for me, and I always knew that it would take a long time, but I also knew that camp in the middle of July would be a really big milestone for me. What I was not aware of was that it would turn my emotions back on, because I knew that they shut off at some point, but I guess I didn't realize they hadn't turned back on. That's been fun. That's been the last major thing in my life to really need healing. And it is slow going, but we will get there. Because of me leaving my teaching job in April and also having a weird summer to just stay off the radar, I have healed rather quickly, and I'm finally, mostly, excluding my emotions, I'm mostly ready to get back on the horse, which is excellent because I always told myself when autumn rolled around, I have to get my shit together. And I have been lucky enough to be able to stay here with my parents. I've just been in their basement for the summer while I try to just recalibrate my life. But my hard out deadline is October 1st. It is time for me to get out of my parents' place and move on, because if I don't push myself, I'm just gonna crack under my rock and never come out. In terms of like yearly goals, it was about healing, which I'm still working on, but mostly done. And Korea was supposed to be my first big girl job and my first apartment, and it just wasn't in every way. So I have come back, which is exceedingly strange. As someone who spent almost all of her 20s as an expat, it is exceedingly strange to be trying to build a life here in the States. Especially being in this new version of myself where I kind of can't just jump on a plane and move to Texas or Seattle or Canada, like that's not the country, Montana, you know, wherever. I don't have anyone else, and that is not been okay so far. Eventually it will be, but right now it's not. After many weeks of fighting with this decision, I've decided it really is best to stay within a day's drive of my parents. That's the major yearly goal for me now. It's about just forcing myself out of the old shell. My wings might not be ready to fly yet, but they need to get out of the cast, which leads us into our seasonal goals. Part of me moving out is about making my space, and a big significant part of that is actually nesting in that space, which I am terrible at. Looking back at my childhood bedroom, I never put a single thing up on my wall. Not a single poster, picture, painting of mine. I put up nothing until one of my senior photos when I was 18 years old. I know that nesting is something that I struggle with, but it's something that I also know is so important and significant. Come here. There you go. There you go. I am a firm believer and witness to the magic that actually designing your space can give you, especially for a sense of calm, which we all know I need. Especially in my coming season, I think I might actually be able to kind of trick myself into nesting, but also this has to allow me to actually buy these things, which again, financial goals. The other two big seasonal habits are just getting back to like a regular yoga schedule, because I did not the entire summer I was home. My cousin got me back into it at camp, which was awesome, and I desperately needed it, but I've been bad about it since I've been back. And then I've been failing this last week, but I've been trying to be really good about my bed habits. If you've been following me for the last couple of videos, you know I've been really struggling with my sleep. Already I'm a night owl, so like this whole waking up at 7 a.m. thing for a job is gonna kill me. Also just have not been sleeping a normal amount, especially in the earlier like pre-camp summer, so May and June. I was sleeping like 18 hours given the chance. Don't jump, it's okay. I'll protect you from the dog barks. I am so much better with my sleep. I'm so excited. But part of that is I'm trying to be really good about my pre-bed habits. I have been really bad about falling asleep to the TV on. I never actually fall asleep to this TV on because it doesn't have a dimmer setting. It's really bright. But I'm always up until I'm just red in the eyes. In July, I guess it started with camp. In July, I tried really hard to read before bed. And I did that great for all of July and into August. And then I fell off the wagon the night that I crashed at a friend's house because I didn't have a book or anything with me. I wonder if my book ended up at her house. I've been missing my novel and I can't find it. I wonder if I'm going to her house tonight. I'll look. Trying to get back to that. That'll be a seasonal goal, to be really good about reading while in bed waiting to go to sleep instead of turning on the stupid TV. On to financial goals. There's kind of three big financial goals that I have for the autumnal season. Two of them are not fun at all, but one of them is. The two not fun ones are consequences of living abroad for as long as I did. When I was in England, I was a student, and when I was in South Korea, I was just making so much money I could get away with not doing a budget, so I never bothered. And also I walked to and from work, like I never used the train. Taxis are really cheap. I couldn't even really get a taxi. I could only get a taxi with somebody else, and then I would just give them cash difference. I really never left my house enough for it to matter. I didn't need to budget. I was being paid enough money to handle my expenses that were still existing in the States. I got my health insurance the entire time I was over there. Thank God I did. For living in the States, especially right now, because if anyone watches this in the future when it's better, the inflation right now is insane. And I know it's affecting the rest of the world, but I have never witnessed inflation like this, ever. Such a mess. And so I have to budget finally. This summer I have had no regular income coming in. I have been working at church, and I did obviously have camp, but I haven't had anything regular. I'm gonna have to budget. You can line up the things that you have to pay, but you kind of can't budget the amount until you know what's coming in. So that's the zigzag I'm stuck in. I probably won't film that madness, but if anyone is interested in it, I certainly can. We can go through the process of me making my first budget, or I can just give you guys a review after it's done. And then my other big one is I need to pay off Amex. I was using my credit card in a weird way when I was abroad. I didn't pay it all off deliberately while I was abroad because it made it easier for me to track the dollars amount of things. When I was in England, I was living in pounds, but all my money, almost all my money, was still dollars, which of course the conversion is a mess. When it was in separate banks, it was really hard to deal with. So I usually just used my credit card for everything and then dealt with it from my separate banks. But I always ran a little bit of a charge because it helped me deal with the delays in charges. Can't really explain it. It worked when I was there. It worked really well, but it did cause some debt when I came back. During COVID, all of that was fun, and I was doing okay about paying it. Like, I was paying down the balance. It wasn't a big deal, but the issue really arose in this last year when I moved to South Korea. For the first 4 months of being over there, I could not get money out of the country. I was on the phone with Amex every night, like, hey, if you can figure out how to get money from South Korea to your bank, I will happily do it. But like, we even tried a wire transfer, but the price of the wire transfer was more than the stuff I was sending, so like it never would have sent anyway, so they wouldn't send it. It was a whole thing. Eventually we found an app from another English teacher. I think that was March that we finally started to be able to pay those fees down, which of course it skyrocketed because they thought I was ignoring them. And my credit score is dismal. It's horrible. I have to get back on better terms with Amex, and me now trying to get an apartment and everything. It's good times. Those are the not fun things. But as we know on this channel, I am always about trying to not get buried in the not fun stuff. You have to also balance it with the things that bring you joy. Like, there's shit you have to get done. That's just the fact of the matter of being an adult. But that doesn't mean you have to be buried in that. And especially after Korea, quite frankly, I just don't have the patience to be buried in that stuff without having the fun to balance it out, or the good stuff to balance it out. So especially in that budget, and especially in me paying down fees, I'm also keeping in mind that I really have to budget a decent amount for going out with friends or doing small trips. Or on the fun balancing side, it will totally rely on what kind of job I get and whether or not I can do remote work over that period. This is just a hope. It's not even quite a plan. I would like to budget for it for the sake of it working. But a friend of mine is graduating in December from her master's in London, and she invited me to come hang out with her. And we have not worked out logistics. We have not talked about this past that, but like, even if we don't see each other, I would like to go. So this would be the week before Christmas, which also is why I think I might be able to swing it with a new job, because I can work over the holiday. Anyway, the job will totally decide this more than the money. But it would be really nice if I could go over there for winter and Christmas, because of course the Christmas lights for London are up the whole time. It's cold and dark, and I would just love to be able to get back over there for my winter. So that's like the dream goal. But of course that would be all this financially saving and budgeting for across autumns. The next section is digital declutter. As I mentioned, I have this new laptop, so the digital declutter has kind of already started as I move stuff over. I keep missing files, so we're just gonna go ahead and complete this in this video. Laptop, OneDrive, and then I have an extra drive that I call the brain, because it was the brain of my old laptop that we took out, while the physical laptop, because the issue was actually on the hinge and later the screen, that went off to get fixed, and 3 months later it never got fixed, so I got a new one for real cheap, by the way. Best Buy, not even Best Buy, Geek Squad did amazing. But I have the brain drive, so I need to get through that as well. Obviously there's a declutter factor to all of that. You need to go through and get and delete. Like, I have so many old school audio files that I have since done transcriptions of, but have not actually deleted the audio file, and so just stuff like that. I need to go get rid of them. But also part of that is setting up for the new season. And Michelle Reed talked about this in her video. I think she did it too, and it was also her first time. I have been looking at vision boards for a couple years. I originally heard about them on Caitlin, what's her name? Years ago, back with manifestation, and when she made vision boards, and I would certainly like to make a physical vision board, but I don't want to move with it. I don't want to make anything else that I have to move with. So I actually already made this and stick it up as my laptop wallpaper. I don't know if I'm gonna like that. The very last section for sitting down is my favorites. These are things that have given me joy in the past few months, and these are also things that I will continue to love going forward. My number one thing, he's not here anymore, but you saw him earlier, was my cat. Scherzo, he's my baby, and he is more my baby than we expected him to be. And I've always had a really observant relationship with this cat, and he has certainly become my baby, but like, he's just, every time I leave him, it's just heartbreak. He's always been just so much comfort to me. And if you guys have an animal, cat, dog, iguana, whatever, you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, Scherzo has been the number one comfort and favorite of mine, and obviously I'm gonna love him forever. The other thing for animals was, especially towards the beginning of the summer, I was really good about going out on the weekly walks with the dogs and my father. I have a video of a really good day with them. They've had some issues, but I have a great video of one of their good days and one of those walks. That has been such a really nice grounding moment for me. We were doing them in May and in June. July and August were just way too hot for them. We just haven't been able to take them anywhere that isn't air conditioned, because they're Great Pyrenees mixes, so they not only are all poof, but they have a double layer of it. The other big thing, other than like seeing people or the more basic favorites, the other thing that's been big for me coming home was my backyard. My backyard is my favorite thing in the world, especially during the summer, because it is just all green and all bright, and we are actually very lucky in that we are exceedingly private. We have trees all the way around our backyard, and we've since had a neighborhood built up behind us, but we're lucky in that the only thing built behind us is the retention pond, so it's not nearly as dense as it used to be, but it's still fairly private, and it's just so peaceful and relaxing and nice out there. My parents have done an amazing job of making it a real safe haven. I think this video is long enough, so in the meantime, please give this video a like if you enjoyed this kind of reset video. I would love to do them on a more regular basis, but we'll see how it goes. And definitely subscribe to the channel for more, because I am posting twice a week now into this autumnal season. I am getting back onto my schedule. I don't really know which days they are yet. It's traditionally been Tuesday and Friday. I don't know what will become of that, but I am posting twice a week. So, and I will post on my Instagram every time there is a new video or a blog post. You can follow me over there. Also, I have a TikTok. I have 2 TikToks. I have a Please Excuse My Nonsense TikTok, which is a book talk, if anyone is interested for that. And I also have a fun one, which is just my name. Both will be linked down below, as well as all of those videos and blog posts that I referred to in this video. Please come back and see me for more chances to romanticize the nonsense, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!
Leave our troubles on the shelf.